But yeah, like I said, don't think I'm trying to glorify being in the streets. I ain't had no choice but to be there, so that's what my story is about. You know what I'm saying? I know there's people who are targets that didn't have to go through the stuff that I went through, and they still targets. So I'm not undermining your life and the way, uh, the way your situation came about, because we still targeted. But uh, I was always there in the streets, but when I came back home, shit was different, and I kind of noticed it that it was different. But like I said, they'll give you those thoughts about a family member. You know what I'm saying? And any of those family members that you get a bad thought about, like say you be like, man, fuck them, or a friend, and you be like, man, fuck that nigga, I don't want to fuck that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. They putting it there. They the ones doing it because what they do is they need to say, uh, they need you to act on it. That's what they really need you to do. They need you to act on that animosity or whatever hate that they want you to hate. You know what I'm saying? They want you to hate them so they can say, well, this is why this is happening because you felt this way or you were trying to. Now let's say you thought about, just for instance, you might be like, man, I'll blow that nigga the fuck up or something like that. In your mind, you thinking that, but you ain't told nobody that. You know what I'm saying? So what they need is they need for you to act on that thought. So if you act on that thought, they could do something to you, so they could get rid of you, get you out the way. That's what this shit really about. Just trying to get you out the way, so they can do the next group of people. See what I'm saying? Cause see, like I told y'all on my other video today, that I believe they doing that shit to my son as far as like with the V2K, cause I heard him talking to himself for a long ass time. You know what I'm saying? And I finally had a sit down with him. And I talked to him, and he said that's exactly what it is. But uh, the thing about that, he didn't even know, what I'm going through. So this is how I know it's real. And I know people gonna try to say, well, maybe it's hereditary. Ain't no fucking hereditary. It's an 11-year-old child, bro, and he don't even he's not doing this every day like me. It was just one day I heard him and he was doing that. Okay, he was actually talking, having a whole conversation. Ugh. But yeah, that's what it is. They try to move on. They pick one out of the how many other people they pick out of the family. It's just the ones that's gonna submit to it, and the ones who are not gonna submit to it. And I'm not one of them ones. But when it comes to the family members, hell yeah, them be the worst ones. Cause you'll go ride for one of your family members, and when you go take that ride for them, that's your ass will be gone. You know what I'm saying? Or just even have a thought. You can just have that thought, be like, I can't stand that motherfucker, or something like that. They'll know about it, and then they'll act on it. You know what I'm saying? They'll try to act on it, but it's really the remote monitoring that's actually uh, giving you those feelings, not just the thought, the whole feelings, the way you feel about it, the emotions that you have. It's them. It's their remote monitoring. When I say them, I'm referring to the remote monitoring. Okay, so I don't think I'm talking about like a whole group of people. It is people involved, but the shit that happens with your mind is that it's the computer doing that. But I'm getting off track a little bit. Oh yeah. So let's see. With the family members. So like I said, I had a dad. He really went shit. Never wasn't around. None of that, right? And like I said, his side of the family, they got police officers and shit on their side. They got an auntie. Her sons are like police officers, or whatever. But they ain't never try to even, they ain't give a fuck about none of us. Just Never came around none of that. So I could see them uh, doing it to us. I could see my dad doing it to me and my brother. I could see him doing it because you gotta look at it like this. When it comes to a parent that just leave their kid, right, and never, I mean literally never, I probably seen they do a handful of times as a child. Okay, and then when I turned probably about 13 or 14, I moved to the area where he would usually be out. He was just like a drunk dude always sitting around laughing and shit. But I always wonder like why he always be out here and he don't have to be here because he had his mom's house to go to, but he always be on that side of town. And that motherfucking dude, man, he ain't get too much of a fuck back then, so I could see him actually selling me out. I could see my mom selling me out too. I could see them doing that, you know what I mean? Now that I know what's going on, I could see them doing that for sure. Because hell, like I said, he didn't give a fuck. Even if my grandmother, which is his mom, was to come get me and take me to her place, he wouldn't even be there. You see what I'm saying? This motherfucker be someplace else, and he would be talking to her on the phone, or he might be in jail, or something like that. He stayed going to jail, but his ass was a part of it for sure because whenever I had my mental break, like I said, well, it really wasn't even a mental break. It was the V2K because I still go through it and I function just fine. But it was the V2K, and I know he knew about it because I seen this food. And this was like right after they like tried to fucking fry me or some shit. I don't know. It's like that directed energy weapon shit. But they tried to fry me one day. And right after that, that's when the V2K came on. I mean, the same fucking day, I got off the ground because it was so hot and intense. I passed out. And when I came to, the V2K was there, and it ain't been off since then. And it was real loud back then. It was like somebody was on the fucking intercom talking to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? And it was like all of their voices, all of the ones who, like family members, all the ones who I know, like my mom, my dad, who people who I knew in my family who just I feel like didn't give a shit about me. Those were the voices. And I'm like, oh, okay. So what is this? You know, that's what I'm thinking. But I see this nigga, like I literally see this nigga probably like a week or two after that, and I was driving down the road or whatever, and he was upset. You could tell he was mad because the shit didn't do what they wanted it to do to me. So when he saw me, he was sitting down on a bench, right? Then when he saw me, he tried to hurry up and turn around. Now, leave to mention, I had just picked this nigga up when it took him to have drinks. Me and him and my uncle, the one just got out of jail. These two fools, they know each other, right? So uh, they riding around with me. I'm showing them a good time on the town, and the whole time they knowing that they about to fuck me up. The whole time they knowing that this shit, cause I had my uncle with me, cause you know what I'm saying, my grandmama, that's his mom, and I'm taking him around, getting him drunk, cause she had just died, and I got my dad with me, cause he know him, he know my uncle. Like I said, dude just got out from doing like 25 years for doing what he did to this lady. And the whole time, you know what I'm saying, after I thought about it, I was like, both of them fools knew what was gonna happen. Cause this nigga, even my uncle, even called me on the phone after the shit, and he was bragging with his current girlfriend. That's how niggas is, bro. He called me and he was like, uh, making jokes about. He was basically trying to tell her that I don't know. Same shit uh, with my mom. He like telling her that I don't know what went on with me or whatnot. Which I know I fell out, but I don't know what happened after that. So uh, you know, yeah, they those family members, man, all of them, they be involved, man. And it's funny because I watched this one guy on here. His name is Born to Fly Banks. Man, everything you say, bro, that shit is true, bro. You a real nigga. You a real one, bro, cause that shit is true. I ain't even lying to you. Uh, oh yeah, with my dad. I'm laughing because it's funny now how fucked up they is. But this fool, man, he saw me like, damn, that motherfucker. I remember when I got off the ground, they were like, he got up. The voices said it. They was like, he got off the ground like it wasn't nothing. Like I wasn't supposed to stay there. You know what I'm saying? I'll never forget that. And it hurt me then, but now when I think about it, it tickles me. Because I'm like, what you trying to say? Was I not supposed to get up? Yeah. And that nigga saw me, he was so disappointed. You know what I mean? And it puzzled me at the time. So I'm like, why he acting like that for? You know, I just took this nigga to have drinks last week or so. And now you looking at me with disgust. It was because he expected me to either be in the nutty bin, you know what I'm saying? Because they get paid for the shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's either it messed up his plans. And I do remember the V2K saying that. And I could have sworn it was my aunt voice, you know. But like I said, man, it's like this. That computer got all those people's voices programmed on it, but at the same time, they know what's going on with you. You know, I don't know if it actually uh, gives you their actual thoughts or their actual say whatever they say, you can hear it type shit. So or whatever they think, you can hear it, and it's probably vice versa. They probably know how I feel about them too, as far as like how I don't give a fuck about them. They probably got my voice in their head saying I kind of messed up shit to them. So this whole thing is just like it's like a 360 of all type of drama. You know, it's like a big delusion. You know, but the voice was like, "You ruining everything." In the female's voice, that's what the female's voice said. It was like, "Yeah, you ruining everything," and I'm like, "How am I ruining everything? Because I got off the ground." You know what I mean? Like, what? I'm ruining everything because I got off the ground. Wow, that's funny as shit. Uh, and then this how I know another thing like with different like my one sister, me and her fell out over some stupid shit I posted on Facebook like back in 2003. Here it is, like, man, I think we didn't talk to each other for a long time. Cause I told her it's like I was talking about black women. That's what I was doing. I was talking about black women, and she just chimed in on the conversation. I wasn't even talking to her. And, you know, a hit dog a holler. I'm like, who talking to you? Ain't nobody ain't even talking to you. So she was talking about what a man is and a man this and a man that, right? That's all I hear with the V2K shit. But I always say, what kind of man is that? Or what kind of man is this? And I'm like, what kind of woman is that? Like all this sneaky ass shit, this shit low down as hell. All this shit low down as hell these motherfuckers doing. But yeah, yo family members, man. Who I forgot, I forget what the guy's name. I think his last name was Hernandez. But to answer your question, bro, hell yeah, your family members are all involved in it. If the ones who ain't involved in it, they as targets, and they probably don't know it yet. They gonna do them just like they did me and you. They gonna wait till that perfect time and break that V2K out on them. You know, they gonna do shit to them. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them up. Don't care about them. You know, that's what they gonna do to them. The ones that who ain't a part of it. You know, I know this is real fat here.